There we go. Now we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to Aces 53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. As you can see, there's no Ed today. So it's just going to be me talking about kind of what I'm going through this week. So this is the beauty of when it's just you. Ed doesn't get to interrupt me. It's just going to be me talking, rectally retrieving whatever I feel like talking about. We go kick off live on Instagram. Next week, you get Ed all to yourself. I will be in San Diego at Inman Connect, speaking to a bunch of people in the real estate industry. Really excited about that event. Matter of fact, that's why the bags are under my eyes. We had to turn in our PowerPoints for it all. And I had one PowerPoint, which my older look and feel. And then I'll show you guys today. I used ChatGPT to fix it all back up, change it. And for some reason, it wasn't uploading right. So I finally got that project finished at 3:30 in the morning, then back up again today. So that is one of the challenges of not just being a business of one, right? Just me, myself, and I. Like, oh, let me introduce you to my team. Oh, there we are. Yeah. So I was working on that yesterday, and then I have a little bit of ADHD. So ADD, ADHD, all the A's and the D's. But anyway, so I was working on that yesterday. I was in ChatGPT yesterday for so long that it actually said, "Are you okay? Do you need to take a break?" I've never seen that pop up in my life, but for anybody who's ever seen me speak, I am slide heavy. And that's because that's the way I pay attention is if somebody sticks on a slide for way too long, I can't pay attention. So I have 97 slides that I was updating yesterday. Yes, 97. And what's funny is that's not even as long as sometimes they will go. Now, what's funny is when I have a workshop and are actually like slowing down, we have a lot of exercises, it's less slides because you're having the people interact. But when it's a keynote, so I'm on a stage, they give me 50% more time next week in San Diego. And it's like, okay, here's the challenge of being a keynote speaker. More time is good, but bad at the same time, because the human brain can only handle learning about 3 new things at a time. Now, some of the people will have seen me in New York, so you want to cover again what you covered before, because why? Well, for them, they get repetition. They're learning it once again. But then you also think, okay, well, now I've also got 60% new people who are going to be there, so I have to cover what I covered, but then add in new material. But the human brain, like I mentioned before, can only handle about 3 things at a time. One of the worst things when I first got started was I'd be so excited to teach everything that I learned. I'm a product of the product. Let me teach it to everybody, that I would go through every single feature that I had learned. And what happened is it overloaded everybody. So the big challenge is, how do you educate? How do you entertain at the same time? So when you're talking to people, you have to keep their attention for X amount of time. Yes, I'll have on my Meta glasses, all that kind of stuff. So the challenge of what I want to do is I want to update my PowerPoint presentation of the new look and feel. So it matches some of the branding you guys have been seeing with the flashcards and everything else. So I'll show you guys some fun stuff. Like I said, it's fun when it's just me. I can do what I want. So let me show you the old look and the new look. So we'll go take a look at Sketch here. Actually, I'll show you. So this was my old PowerPoint. As you can see here, I was updating it, kind of playing around. This is the old look and feel. It's the same one I've had for about the last year or so, going over the different facial features. A lot of what I talk about is so new to people that you have to build a little bit of credibility. You can't just jump right into it. Once you do, people are like, who's this guy? So what I have to do is I have to go in first and explain the history of me. How did I learn it? You name it. What's it actually good for? Then I go into actually teaching. So I'm a little bit slow to get started. However, if I'm returning to an event, I can jump to things a little bit quicker. But like I was saying earlier, this is just the older look, feel of it all. Now, let me get rid of this one. Let me show you what the new one looks like. So go back in. I want to stop that screen. Let's add a new one, share screen. Windows. This is the new version. So what you're going to see is a preview of what the people for next week will be seeing. Why can't I see it on my screen? Go here. Haha. Okay. So I want to move that guy over. Let me go back so I can see y'all. Okay. So this is the new look and feel where it's going in there. Now, one of the things that is kind of a pain, and this is just going to drive me nuts, but it is what it is if you look, for some reason, ChatGPT kept changing the color font. So it would go to different colors of purple, even though I was in the same chat. I created a project for it and went back in. But what I was looking for is just what stands out more, what pops. So that's what I used ChatGPT for the other day. So if you guys haven't been watching, Ed and I use different tools for different things. Lovable, if you want a website put together quickly, you want something that you can get out to the masses, you can change, and it's more than a website. Ed likes to call it an authority site. That Lovable's great. What I've been using ChatGPT for is the creation of flashcards and content. So if you've seen anything, I've been recently redoing the flashcards, upgrading them, because people said, hey, the flashcard's great. It taught me a feature, but not how to use it in life and in business. So that's what we've been working on, or it's the voices in my head that are the we. But then I also had this big presentation next week, and I was like, how can I make the presentation look a little bit better? So this is the new look and feel that people are going to see next week. There's some things I'm not happy with it, but I'm overall happy, right? It's little things of when it's yours, you notice things like what drives me nuts is it keeps changing my logo in the upper right-hand corner. So on different slides, it looks differently. So that's just a little pet peeve thing. Nobody's going to pay attention to that except for me. And of course, if you're going to be at the event, you're going to now know my little dirty secret. But you can see this is just a cleaner look and feel. So it took those older slides and just jazzed it up a little bit. But the key thing about this is one of the things I harp on, and that is everyone who's using AI to just create from scratch, all your content looks the same. I'm a bigger fan of using it as an editor. Once I create content, then go in and edit it after the fact. So I'll have to show you one of my favorite slides that it helped me with was, one of the things I do talk about is the downside of AI coming in and replacing jobs. So this was an older slide that just had the red arrow and those facts, and it added a robot there at the computer. Now, what you can't see is hidden in the background a little bit, kind of like an Easter egg, is an employee being walked out with a box. And it's true because AI is replacing jobs, but not necessarily all AI. If you've been listening to Ed and I talk, it's people who are using AI. So what you're able to do is duplicate your effort. So if you've ever read the book, Buy Back Your Time, it was who can you hire to do certain things? Well, now you can create your own employees. You don't have to use a virtual assistant. You can actually create one. We'll have our friend Joe Ingram on here soon. So he went in and, he took a contract for a bit to step back in and prove that the sales that he was teaching would work in a dealership. And he kicked butt at doing it. It took him to number 2 in the state of California. He got out and now he's looking, okay, I'm restarting my business. Where do I restart? How do I get employees? And he went into Claude. I don't want to give too much away, but he created like a CEO type thing called the Command Center. And then he's got, I think, dozens of agents that are doing tasks for him all at the same time. So anyway, it's the people who are using AI that will kick your butt. AI can replace your job, but for sure, people who are using AI will take your business and or replace your job. So I'm a big fan of that slide, but I don't want everybody to go doomsday, naysayer, you name it. So that the other part is I'm talking about how do I use AI on a daily basis. So you can see there, I use ChatGPT, Claude. Yes, I'll have my smart glasses on next week so I can take pictures and videos from the event. Although I do want to get the smaller glasses. I feel like Mr. Magoo in my big Meta glasses. So I'm not the biggest fan. I'm a fan of the glasses, just not the bigger glasses. And I know for my head, I'm afraid the little ones will look even worse. But man, I put them on and I just feel like it's way, way too big for my face. And maybe it's because I'm used to having smaller glasses like the ones I have on right now. Am I blind? No, these are computer glasses. But yes, I do have the reader aspect added to them, so I don't squint as much. Why? It's one of the things we talk about. When you come in squinting, you're seen as a foe. So if you need to get your vision checked, you need to get glasses, move past your vanity, go to the doctor, get glasses. Because if not, you come in squinting and you're seen as a foe versus when your eyes are open, you're seen like a friend, like, oh, hey, nice to see you again. Who are you? 2 different looks from the same person, all right? So anyway, this is just some of the looks. This is how I've been using it all, though, is I use AI, I write my content, then I tell AI, go make it look better, add in hashtags, fix it, change it, give me input. But that's the big thing I recommend is all the people are coming in and say, hey, look, AI wrote my next 40 days of posts. Not a fan of that. I was in a green room with Renee Rodriguez last week, And he was showing me software he's got. Man, it's freaking awesome. But the thing is, you go in every day and you come up with an idea. And that's what keeps you fresh is like anything else. If you went to the gym one time and then for 30 days, that was it, it doesn't have the same impact of what you go in every day and you decide, okay, what am I going to work on today? Now, there's nothing wrong with having a plan, putting things together. But like I said, it's just going in and doing it day is what keeps it fresh. And everybody is starting to dismiss when they know it's the AI you versus you. So go in, have content. That's one of the reasons that we still do podcasts, or we all watch podcasts and things. We can learn information from anything, but we enjoy the human connection. And part of that connection is it actually you? One of the things I'm going to talk about to this group, especially because they're in the real estate industry, update your freaking headshots more than every 14 and a half years, which for some reason in that industry, there's a long duration. There are photographers everywhere that'll go out, attend events. I go to some networking events where one of the perks of buying a ticket is get your headshots updated. Why not? You're going there, you're chasing business, you're getting content you need at the same time. So, take your phone, get content of the event, post it, wear meta glasses, get more content, have your headshots done. Why not? Because that's one of those things of we want to connect with the actual people. And when we know it's AI, we start to dismiss at the same time. So anyway, this is a look of what my new flashcards look like. This is the old version. This is new. AI, I use ChatGPT, Claude, Opus Clips, CapCut, you name it in my content. So anyway, I was just showing you guys, this is the new look and feel that I'm really loving. I am curious to see what's going to look like on a big screen next week because I know what it looks like on my monitors. Sometimes that translation doesn't always work out, but you don't know till you're on a big, big screen. But let me stop sharing that. We'll remove it. Anyway, so the point of it all is, what are you using to move your business forward? How are you using AI? There are so many different groups. You hear Ed talk all the time about Nino. Nino? Why am I drawing a blank on his name now? Jonathan Mast, Adam Lyons, Perry Belcher. There are so many people that you can learn AI content from. And one of the masterminds we're in is called Ignite. And in the Ignite mastermind, they used to have an AI morning club where every morning somebody was showing you how they're using AI. Adam Lyons has an incredible event that it's twice a week. It's Wednesdays and Fridays. And it's not just, hey, here's AI. It's, okay, what are you creating this week, this month that you promise you're going to have delivered? That's something that's really missing is we join a lot of these groups to learn, but where's the accountability for it? And that's something that Adam's got really figured out and dialed in. Man, and I watch some of these projects that people come in with. It's absolutely incredible. So are you in the right kind of mastermind groups and everything else? Here's the other hard time of where we are in business, and that is summertime. Summertime is scattered. People want vacation, pool times. There's multiple holidays that are in here, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, you name it. It's very hard to stay focused. Add to it, I have parental guilt. On the times I have my daughter, it's one of those things of I need to get work done, but I'm not in a 9 to 5, right? Like when I was in that world, I didn't have a choice. I was stuck. I was glued to it. Now I have the capability to take the time away, but that means I've got to add the time back in somewhere else. So hence last night, staying up till 3:30. If you saw my Instagram story, she wanted to go to one of those cafes where pets are there. So we went to it's called Whiskers and Soda here in Dallas, Texas, and it's part of an adoption center for cats. And so what you do is you pay an entry fee, and then you can do coffee, and there's a kitten petting room and all kinds of stuff. She had a blast yesterday. And it was fun to get to go and do that and create one of those core memories with her. Then I also worked for a little bit. So we walked around, we petted the cats together, and then you rent it. You're there for an hour or two at a time. And so after we played with cats for a little bit, I went to go work. You saw the Instagram story. Some cat decided to stand on my laptop while I was trying to work. That was an interesting one. But it was a fun way to enjoy kiddo time and also at the same time get work done. But that's one of the struggles of parental guilt during the summer, which is funny because like growing up, my parents worked full time, but I do remember like when they took off time to take us to Six Flags or something of that nature. So there's always that part of parental guilt that kicks in. The other thing is business is slow for a lot of people during the summer. Every industry I've ever been in, August is a lull month. People are wrapping up last minute vacations. Europe is all but gone. I did some training for a group, and there were people from France and Germany earlier this week. So I had to get up, start at 7 a.m. my time. That's 1 in a lot of Europe. And they joined, and they were telling us like, yeah, they're all getting ready. This is their final week. and they're off for the month of August because it's so hot and a lot of places don't have air conditioning. They go out to the beaches. So you have in Europe, it's a lull. When I was in a certain industry, it was a lull also because everybody's getting ready to take their kids back to school. They're moving kids to college. They're buying back to school clothes. They're buying back to school supplies. So August across most industries is a dead or dull month. So the question is, how are you going to use your August? For me personally, I finished the first book with the help of Jim Morris, who we'll have him back on here soon. His book was just released, Connect or Die. Really good book talking about the importance of human connection in the world moving forward. So if you haven't seen that, it's on my website. I'll post it again. Jim's actually going to be coming to Dallas at the end of August. We're going to put together a one-day event where I think we're going to look to do dinner again. That was a really good thing in Nashville was we kept it small, 10 to 20 people. We did dinner. We hired in a private chef. We're looking at restaurants versus private chef. We'll see what happens. But it's because when you're going somewhere, go create connections with those people. Why not? You're going somewhere for business anyway. A guy who's fantastic about this is Dave Meltzer. If you guys know who he is, I met him in the past, and he puts together VIP dinners everywhere he goes. And it gives him a chance to connect with his local audiences while he's already going somewhere anywhere for work. So if you have those same capabilities, why not? So Ed's actually coming to Dallas. So we're going to the Growth Hacking Live event. We'll post that in the show notes. But that's going to be August 24th through 26th here in Dallas. So guess what? Ed's coming in that weekend. We're going to do the same thing. We'll put together some type of a dinner, something to get people together, because that's what we're all craving. If you've ever heard me talk, what do you do when kids are in trouble and you want to punish them? You send them to their room. Now, of course, their rooms have pretty much every contraption known to man now, so it's not necessarily punishment. Now it's take away their electronics. But what do you do with the worst of worst offenders? You put them in solitary confinement. That's how we know as a species, as a society, how important connection is, because the ultimate punishment is to take away connection to other people. So anyway, a little bit of ADD about what I'm working on. This is the joy of only having one person on here. So you saw the new PowerPoint. How am I using it? Lovable to create landing pages. The flashcard, that's all getting upgraded. So I'm upgrading the physical cards now, and then the whole website will be redone. And that's all done in Lovable. Man, Lovable has come a long way in the last 6-8 months of what you could create to what you can do now. It does SEO, it does everything else. Then what else am I using? ChatGPT to update and create the flashcards themselves. Now I'm using Codex for the headshots. Why? It just does a better job. But Codex doesn't do as good of a job at creating the physical flashcards, or the flashcards. I shouldn't say physical. I don't want to mislead people because they're all digital right now. But it creates the content, the format. Now, even it gets a little squirrely after about 5 different ones that it creates, then it starts recreating designs. Kind of like I showed you in that PowerPoint. Drives me nuts because I said, hey, let's create a project. Let's create a master layout. Let's talk color codes. Here's my brand. You name it. And it would just start deviating from that, going from purple to like a royal blue. And I'm like, oh, God. And I wouldn't catch it because I was doing bulk ones. I was multitasking last night. But you have to stay on top of AI. Now, there are so many other things that you can use to automate. I was on a different mastermind group yesterday where a guy's using it to, this is a genius idea. Before he attends an event, he gets a list of the attendees, and then he throws it into Claude and says, who should I meet with? Who should I network with? And it went and researched the people that were there and gave him the top 10 of who he should meet with when he's at an event. That's something I've never thought about doing. I usually just show up and like, okay, who do we talk to? But if you can look up people ahead of time because you can get the attendee list, that's a whole other level of fun that you can have, because you can say, who do I want to meet? Who do I need to meet? Who do I need to do business with? And it changes things. Now, will you always have that list? No. So we'll hold, I think Ed will be on by himself next week. One of these, we'll make it a networking episode. What is best practices for going into a networking event? And I say that as an introvert who starts out hiding in the corner whenever I go to an event until I get going. So I kind of go in, I always sit in the back. I sit in the back for 2 reasons. One, as you can see, this is a stand-up desk, right? I stand a majority of the day. Well, now I got to set my settings back up again. I stand a majority of the day. I go to events and I have to stand. I go to the back because I get up quite a bit. I'm not a good sitter. That's number one. Number two, I can take in the entire room. If I sit up front, what's going on is my ADD brain's always wondering, what's going on behind me? What what else should I be paying attention to? So I sit in the back because I can take in the entire room. My people watch, body language. I'm always analyzing, breaking down the speakers, what they're saying, you name it. Then the other reason is kind of an introvert. So when I get started in an event, I just sit in the back so I can kind of take it all in, take my time to be around everybody. And then it starts amping up. I start getting ramped up. Then I start talking to people. I'm still not the best networker. I love people, but I just sometimes sit back. I'm an observer. I take more in than I put out, which some people will probably argue and disagree with me on. And like, that dude never shuts up. Not at first. Pretty quiet at first. I just take it all in. Then after the fact, I get going on it all. So anyway, how to use AI. We talked about Lovable, how I'm using ChatGPT, how I'm using Claude. If Ed was on, you'll get enough of him next week. He's got like 5 different apps he's working on, 3 different books, everything. And a lot of that has came since he started using Claude a lot more. We'll have Joe Ingram on. Man, that guy's just been rocking it and killing it since he got into Claude not even a month ago. He's blown past so many people who've been using it for a while. And that's the interesting thing is if you get in with the right time under the right teacher, you end up strides and strides ahead of other people because you're paying for the coaching and versus the, learning on your own. Now there is a ton, YouTube University, you name it. There's always people putting in their prompts into Facebook. But if you can go and dedicate 2 to 3 days to focus on setting it up right, it changes everything that's out there. So anyway, that's about it. We're at 20 minutes with just me. What are some things that I'm going to hold myself accountable for? Getting the flashcards done. They've got to be done before I'm done in San Diego. I'm waiting on the physical copy of the book here. Yes, the first copy of the book is about dating. Why? That course was already created. It was easiest to start from that one. Then it'll expand to there'll be a sales professional one. Then there's going to be the official book, like the one big book that will come out. What I was waiting for on that was limitations when I first wrote the book 2 years ago. And that was you had to go to deposit photos, stockphotos.com, whatever, and constantly search for, hey, I need this kind of face, feature, you name it. What do we have now? AI. So you can actually get examples and go, hey, AI, go create this, go create that. Now, don't get me wrong. It screws up a lot. Like when I was working on the flashcards, one of the flashcards talks about larger ears that stick out. Well, it drew like mouse ears on somebody, like Mickey Mouse's cousin. So it needs guidance, but it's so much easier than going through pages and pages of stock photos to try and finish things. So that'll be the big accountability one, will be the main book that'll come out that you guys can all learn from. I think it's going to be called, I'll keep the title because we'll wait and see how it works out there. But things are coming, things are in the works. It's not just wait and come see me speak at an event. There's going to be resources that are available. The flashcard upgrade is the biggest one because it's what was missing this entire time. After that, books. Hey, who doesn't want to be listed as an author? I've got chapters in 2 books that are coming out. This one's coming out in October. I got to work on another one after this. And then my own book that's coming out. Why? Because people want to be able to dive deeper with you on things. Doom scrolling is great. Social media is great. But that's snippets of time. People want to be able to spend more time with you. That's the other reason that I've been working with Henry Sims on revamping the YouTube page. Pardon me. Because all I was doing was putting the same shorts across every platform. Hey, here's a short. Let's go put it on TikTok. Let's go put it on Instagram. Let's go put it on Facebook. Let's put it on LinkedIn. Let's put it on YouTube. Now we're going for longer form content because once people find you, if they like what you say, they want to spend more time with you. And then what are we constantly doing? Just constantly refining the craft, changing with the environment. What else can we do that we can do, but what else can we use AI for? What can we stop doing that they call it, stop doing $1 million. If you're $1 million person, stop doing minimum wage tasks. Now, I wish I was $1 million person. We'll get there at some point, but not there yet. But stop trying to do everything. So how many things can you now pawn off to AI to do it for you? That's out there. I just saw somebody yesterday in the Ignite mastermind we're in talk about how far StreamYard is coming. This is coming to you from StreamYard right now. Well, now with all the widgets that they've added, people are moving their podcasts to StreamYard because of everything that it can do. And it also replaces some of the other software that's out there. So it used to be that, okay, use StreamYard here and then use Descript here and use all these. What we're seeing across everything is they're all combining in. So kind of like I use GoHighLevel for my CRM. man, they're constantly adding new things too. As a matter of fact, I told you earlier, I use Lovable. Well, I'm developing web pages now and landing pages in GoHighLevel directly with an AI builder that they just released. Now, is it to par of where Lovable is? No, but neither was Lovable when Lovable started. So get in, find the software that you feel most comfortable with, and more importantly, that you'll use. It's kind of like when people are wanting to get into shape. Oh, I'm going to join this gym. Cool. Do you need a gym? Do you need Orange Theory? What will you take your butt to actually go do on a regular basis is the most important thing. I live over here by an Equinox. It's 200 and something dollars a month. Well, why spend $200 if you're not going to go? But if there's a $150 or $100 or $30 place that you will go regularly because it's more your speed, go and do it. Like, find your tribe in everything. Find the software that calls to you. Find the group fitness that calls to you. You know, whatever it is, find the friend group that calls to you, because that's what's more important than anything is consistency in doing stuff. So anyway, hosting websites. Oh, I use GoHighLevel. Sorry, somebody asked in the chat, where do I host my website? GoHighLevel is where I do it from. I work with a company called firstdirect.com, firstdirectmarketing.com. It's a Joel. He's out of Omaha, Nebraska, Bellevue, technically. And they are the ones that took my original WordPress site, converted it over, updated it, you name it. And now I can get in and play. I just log into GoHighLevel, put my email marketing campaign. Everything is in HighLevel, my WordPress site. But what I'm launching now is a lot more. Here, let me see. I don't think I can. I'll have to go over to another window here. Hold on. So First Direct. Let me log in and I'll show you one of the what's there. And this is what somebody asked about. Okay, so stop screen share, start a new screen share. Okay. Granting access. Hold on, I gotta give it access. Screen share, come on. Open settings. Just waiting for it to catch up here. I want to give Chrome access. Oh. Open settings. And try one more time. Okay, let's see. That should do it. Okay, where was that? First Direct, share. Okay, so here you can see my email campaigns are getting ready to go out. So basically everything I do, I come into First Direct 360, come in, here's my email campaigns, but you can come under sites. And what's really cool is now in GoHighLevel, you can have in like your WordPress site is built in. So that's why I use. But the other cool thing that they have, and I've got to open another window, is now you can build funnels and everything else with Build AI. And you come in and you say, hey, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to create. It's going to look a lot like Lovable or Replit. I've never really used Replit a lot, but it's, okay, what do you want to do? Am I creating a funnel page? What am I creating? You can create a link here. You just put in the information and, you know, what are you offering? So there's so many cool things that are built into it now that it will get there. It's not quite there. I launched one. Let me see if I can, if I share, will we stay here? Yeah. So I did one right here that is talking about for people who saw me speak and want to watch it again. Well, now I offer, just like we're watching right now, I recorded the keynote at home. Why? Because people get so excited, they're amped up, they download the cheat sheet, and then they forget how it was explained. So what I went ahead and did is said, hey, look, you already came and saw me speak. I know rather than waiting for me to speak at another event, you can just download the keynote and watch it. So here's a one that I built. This was all built in GoHighLevel in their new AI, whatever it was called. So yeah, they built out the whole thing. Just like prompting anything else, you give it advice, what you want it to do. Just really cool. So this took me 20, 30 minutes when I was in there. You know, I just had to tell it, no, I don't like this. Yes, I like this. No, I don't like that. So kind of cool stuff to see, but this is what I use to build it. So what's this tool called? It is the AI funnel builder, I think. Ask AI. Let's see, what was it called again? It was called, let me go back to sites. Let me change it and come, AI Studio. That's the name of it. So it's basically vibe coding built in. You can see the projects I'm working on. So I've got a landing page for a different event that's coming up, and I'm just building these, and it's super fast and easy to get into it. So here's an example, one that's being built, not done with it. This is what people are going to see now when they download the QR code to get the cheat sheet. So this was built, didn't take that long. Just say, okay, land, click on it, enter your email address, it'll get sent to people. So it takes your existing websites, puts it together pretty quickly. You click publish, simple stuff. So anyway, man, I'm just a huge fan of GoHighLevel. It just can help you on so many different levels. Didn't mean to say level in there twice, but you get the idea. All right, let me see if there's any more questions before I drop off. So that was, where was I hosting the website? GoHighLevel for pretty much everything. Again, I use First Direct. They're the marketing company that helps me actually manage my GoHighLevel. And it looks like that's about it for today. So welcome to my scattered brain, ADD, ADHD, all the fun AD stuff. But that's what I'm using on a pretty regular basis is I'm going into one platform and seeing what all it can do. And then I'll jump over to Lovable, because Lovable is a little bit farther ahead. That's where currently the flashcards are. So if you go to the decodingdeck.com, excuse the luck, it was created 8 months ago before I really created and updated the flashcards. It was actually, when I put it together, I was on one of the masterminds I'm in. They're like, oh, here's what you can do in vibe coding. I'm like, oh, that's what I've been waiting for. But all I did was scan in these physical cards and just say, okay, now you can have them digitally. Now I've actually improved the cards, but that was all done in vibe coding. So what am I doing? Create the headshots in Codex. Then I go into ChatGPT, create the flashcard. After ChatGPT is done, I go load it up in Lovable and replace the older card that looks like this with the new ones that you've seen. So I'm using 3 different sets of software for one solution. And then when the flashcards are done, I'll update the look and feel of that website so it matches consistently with my brand and with what the cards look like. So anyway, enough for me for today because I've got to run. I've actually got another call I'm jumping on to be an attendee at the top of the hour. So as always, thank you for joining us here on ACES 53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. It's usually the two of us. We're here at noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific, talking about how we're using AI, what's going on in our lives. And then every once in a while, we bring in a guest, someone we call a joker, to come in and share what they're doing in their business to be more successful. So if you want to be one of our jokers, reach out to Ed or I. And the best way to support us is just like and share the information. And for any of you that will be in San Diego next week at Inman Connect, I speak on the 30th. The main stage is 3 o'clock, I think. And then after that, I'm on the expo stage right after that. So come by, say hi. I would love to meet you guys face to face. Like we talked about, life is all about connections. And other than that, thank you for your time today. Everybody have a great week. Ed will be here next week. I don't know if he'll be here both Tuesday and Thursday. I will be in San Diego at Inman Connect. And then the following week, it may be just me again. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.